And a good curling morning from the Utica Curling Club. Welcome to the Utica Curling Club channel on YouTube. And this morning we'll be bringing you the semifinal game of the 2020 Utica Curling Club College Bonspiel. And we've got a good matchup for you this morning. We've got the Big Red of Cornell, winners of Pool B, against the runners-up in Pool A, RIT2. Cornell is skipped by Tyler Mahler, third Jacob Spiegel, second Brendan Polo, and lead Deshing Ma. RIT2 skipped by Eric Cowell, third Mac Neaton, second Jack Nafel, and the lead is Tyler Payano Bermudez. Should be a good game this morning, our other semifinal game, and we may take a look in here and there. See how things are coming along as between Syracuse University, winners of Pool A, against the runners-up of Pool B. Villanova won. That's Sean Knowles for Villanova and Paul Mokotov skipping for Syracuse. Just about to get underway. Hope you enjoy our morning game, and we'll be back at 11:30 for the championship final. We do have other events going out on the ice, and we'll try to keep you up to date on our scoreboard. We have a consolation event playoff, and that's going off on sheets 3 and 1, I believe. I'll make that sheets 3 and 6. MIT, Penn, RIT, and RPI involved. And then we have a third tier playoff as well with Harvard, MIT, and where's the other one? Yale and Colgate, all involved.
Come on, Sean!
By virtue of their team record and their draw shot challenge score, Cornell will have the last rock here in the first end, playing the Red Rocks. All the teams with Red Rocks will have the hammer in the first end of play in the single elimination playoff. Deshing Ma with a second come-around attempt around this RIT center guard. Really good line. That'll come up short for a corner guard, but a very useful stone for the team with the last rock. And now Jack Nafel trying to get around their own center guard. And we'll come up a little bit short. Brendan Polo for Cornell. Both teams struggling with draw weight here in the early going. Lots of rocks just short of the rings here. But RIT does have stones in the control zone. A little surprised that Cornell doesn't remove some of those center guards, open up the middle. They're electing to come around the outside, but RIT will be able to use those stones in the middle later in the end. As we saw yesterday, Cornell did very well with their draws. And that's a pretty good one there. Looks like our far camera view may be frozen up. We'll take a quick break here and restart the feed. And that should unfreeze for you. And we'll be right back. You may blank out for just a moment. And we're back live with you. We got our far camera stream unfrozen for you so you can see the lay of the house. Brendan Polo's draw with the red stone sitting in the top 8. Now RIT coming around. You can get shot stone. This one's also going to go to the back of the rings. Just going to tap their other stone. Rolls out of play, just a little bit heavy. Looks like the ice is starting to speed up very quickly after struggling to get stones into the house. Now stones are gliding pretty quickly. And Cornell's content to play around the edges here, leaving those RIT stones in the middle of the sheet. By coming around the edges here, I think they're Cornell is going to force RIT to play some taps up the middle. This is Jacob Spiegel. Playing the out-turn draw. He's going to wreck on his own stone. That might actually help Cornell a little bit, in that at least blocks off one of the two blue raises. Blocks off the easier of them, actually. The one that's closest to the rings. Both teams ignoring those stones in the middle of the rings. Or in the middle of the sheet. Now Skip Eric Powell is going to try to come around this out-turn side. Try to outcount that Cornell stone in the top 8. Eric got just a little wide on that delivery and got out into the frost a little bit. Didn't curl. Now a chance for Tyler Mahler to draw a second stone in. He's not too interested in this out-turn side now. Looks like they're thinking about playing the in-turn draw, one they played earlier with Brendan Polo. Stick a second stone in. Maybe even tap their own stone up a little bit. Looks like they're changing their mind. They're going to come around the other direction. Indicating a guard, but I don't think they want to throw a guard here. They've got the last rock advantage. And Cornell would want to come right into the house at 1 and 2. Tyler Mahler with his first. Strawweight was excellent yesterday in the semifinal game. And again, just a little bit heavy, and that ran straight out there on the edge. And the roll actually made it even more difficult now to raise the blue center stones. I think RIT is going to have to play that same out-turn draw. They'll have to guess the ice, though, get out of that straight spot. Bring the weight down a little bit. Eric Cowell, this last here in the first end. Hammer Rock is to come. And again, got into a little straight spot there, a little too much weight. And that's going to wreck on the guard again. So now an open draw for 2 for Tyler Muller. They've got rid of all of the pesky guards on the outside of the sheet now. And they just need to get full 12-foot. Good opportunity here for Cornell to grab the lead with the deuce here in the first end. You always like to score more than one when you've got the last rock advantage. Last rock. First end, Tyler Muller for Cornell. Sweepers were maybe a little overly enthusiastic, as that rock has plenty of weight. And boy, it did grind to a halt at the end, so I don't know if it stopped in time or not. And wait for Cornell to hang the score. It did indeed grind to a halt just in the nick of time. So that's a deuce for Cornell in the first end, a very good start for them. And now it'll be RIT's turn with the last stone in the second end. See if they can bounce back with a deuce of their own. Another scores across the sheets in our third event semifinal. Harvard 2 grabbed a deuce against MIT 2 in the first end. They lead 2-0. Syracuse grabbed their deuce in the first end against Villanova 1 in the other championship semifinal. They lead 2-0 in their game. In the consolation event semifinal, Penn stole one against MIT in the first end. They lead 1-0. Colgate 2 also stole one against Yale in their first end in the third event semifinal. No score on sheet 6. They're just finishing up the first end now. And our feature game is Cornell 2. RIT nothing after one end of play. And RIT with the Blue Rocks will have the last rock advantage here in the second end. And the ice appears to be up to full speed now, as now the players are having a hard time keeping the rocks in the rings. Lone corner guard in play for RIT. Now Brendan Polo being asked to throw a tight center guard. And that'll be a guard. Nice shot there by Brendan Polo. RT was looking to go around the center guard, but looks like they'll get around the corner if it hangs around. But skip Tyler Muller was able to sweep that one out the back. Now a chance to get around for Cornell. Bury a rock behind the center guard. Line was really good on this shot, and the only question is, can they get that onto the rings? And it's just going to be just short. Well, Cornell with yet another chance to get around the centers. They got two now. Jacob Spiegel shot a little wide and short of the house, so really nothing going yet. We'll see who's first in the house here. Mac Neaton for RIT. This one's got excellent line. But just a little too heavy. Tyler Moeller taking about 2 feet more ice than RIT for the shot. Now they're tightening it up a little bit. I think that's pretty close to the right ice. Maybe just a tad wider than necessary. Again, they're by. This only question is weight here. And this line's getting slicked up really fast. This one's also going to coast to the back of the house, but it's going to hang around for shot stone in the back 8. They had plenty of room around the guard. Really not sure what this call does. They're concerned about the corner guard, but RIT does have last rock here, and they've got a rock behind T. And drawing around the top 4 would seem to be the obvious call. Looking to play a little hit and roll, but it's going to go a little too far. Cornell indicating they just want to cover up, but with this blue rock in the rings, I think the best idea is to go right around buried top 4. Sit 1 and 2. And if you're short, that's a good miss. You'll take that, covering up the draw path to your stone in the back. But I think you want to take control of the 4-foot right now, and just you can go right to the top 4. I mean, I think the ideal position would be even just partially buried behind those center guards would be just perfect. And set yourself up for a steal and protect that rock on the back 8 as well. Tyler Muller's first stone here in the second end. Just looking to come down this out-turn draw path. Got a little wide, but it's coming over nicely now. And that's not a bad spot. They can't hit that for shot. Can be tapped up, and also protects their shot stone on the back 8. And I think RIT will want to get rid of that threatening rock. After that clearing shot, Tyler Muller will have to repeat his last shot to protect shot stone. Last rock of the second end for Cornell's Tyler Moeller. He's looking to cover up his shot stone in the back eight. This one's a lot wider than the first one. And a bit heavier. Going to nestle into the 4 foot though to sit 1 and 2, so that should be good enough to get the force. It is very difficult double. And certainly you can't double and stick, so this will be an open hit for Eric Cowell to get his single. Coming inside out again. He just threw this shot. The first one over curled a little bit. Last rock, second end for RT, Eric Cowell. And he turned this one in. Just helped it along the way on the release, and that's going to miss everything. And that'll be a steal of 2 for Cornell. They'll extend their lead to 4-0 after 2 ends of play. In our other championship semifinal, Villanova bounced back with a 3 in the second end. They got a nice redirect to remove shot stone from the button and push it to the back of the rings, and they lead 3-2 after 2 ends of play. Syracuse with the hammer here in the third end. Winner of our feature game here, Cornell versus RIT, will play the winner of the Syracuse-Villanova game in the championship final at 11:30. Cornell now with 2 stones in the house, and nothing in play for RIT. Going to remove this stone on the top 12, but they can't trade hits too long here. Trading hits won't get them a big end. They'll need to put a few more rocks in play to come back from this 4-0 deficit. This will get rid of 1 stone and roll 4-shot stone. And force Cornell to deal with it one way or the other. It's the right call. Then you chase this off the rings. And try to set 1-2. Even if you hit and roll out here, just need to eliminate RIT stones that you can get to with this 4-0 lead. Brendan Polo. Tyler was looking for a nice roll there, but still mission accomplished. The enemy stone removed. And Cornell sits 1 and 2 again. Bringing play into the rings where RIT doesn't want it. RIT needs a chance to throw some corner guards.
Okay.
But Cornell's keeping them busy, removing stones. If RIT wants to get the blank alive, keep the hammer into the next end, they're going to have to continue to remove some Cornell stones and hope for a miss so that they can blank by removing the last Cornell stone and rolling out of play. That shot sails wide, and now a chance for Cornell to go a little more aggressive here. They can either throw a guard or just throw another one in the rings. Can probably come around their stone on the top 12. And that's what they're going to call.
Oh my God, we're the same exact way. Hard! Hard!
Cornell's content to guard their shot stone here. They're coming from an odd direction, so they're attempting to throw the guard in this direction, but I like throwing it the other way. That way if you're short or long, something good happens. This one's going to over curl. And they got lucky. It lost the handle right at the end and curls back the other way. It goes exactly to the spot that Tyler Moeller put his broom down when they called the shot. A little bit of a lucky break for Cornell there. That stone lost rotation and curled back the opposite direction. All right, he's going to just try to draw around and tap it back and sit two. Mac Neaton. A good looking shot if he gets by. He's by the guard. He's going to get a good piece of shot stone here. And will push it back, and it's just not enough weight. Really good effort there by Mac Neaton. Almost made a perfect shot there to lie two. But Cornell is still shot stone. They're pretty well protected now. If you can throw an accurate hit, you could really put RIT under a lot of pressure by doubling out those blue stones. You just got to get a little inside the nose. You could roll under to the 4-foot, sit four with two guarded, and no blues in the house. Otherwise, just cover the other draw path, and that's what they're going to do. That'll give RIT an out at least. They'll be able to come off their own to score. Cornell just looking to cover this path, and that's going to probably force RIT into coming in that way. Jacob Spiegel. Again, the line looks terrific on this, but I think it's going to be a little heavy. It's going to go to the back of the house and then some. Just needed to be about 8 feet shorter. Now, if RIT can open things up, they might have a 3 cooking here. They just need to expose the Cornell shot stone. And it's just over curled. Kind of a dangerous turn to throw because you're almost guaranteed to hit that on the low side, and you don't want to drive that red stone onto the blues. Almost like playing, if you're going to remove that top stone, play this end turn. And if you over curl, you want to drive that stone out this way. Roll underneath. Now a chance for Tyler Moeller. And it looks like Tyler's going to go after these 2 blue stones. Try to sit 4. Looks like he has a good shot going here. Didn't quite get the double, but does eliminate a blue stone. And I believe Cornell is now sitting 2. Yes. First rock, second rock, and lonely third rock in the house. First rock here in the third end for Eric Cowell. He's got to be careful here. Cornell can play that same shot again and run the blue stone out the back and sit 5. That will force a draw against 5, which wouldn't be very appetizing. I think the shot here would be just to throw a nice lightweight tap and just kind of tap that red and roll under. Eric's going to go after it with hit weight. Try to get to nose or maybe a little inside. This one's still hanging out. Not going to make it back to nose. We'll push his stone back a little bit. Didn't change things a lot. Cornell still sitting first and second. RIT sitting third and fourth. I think Cornell can just lob another one in.
You cannot get that. It's so dangerous.
Depends on what shot you want to leave Eric. He's going to have an in off his own to hit and roll to the button, at least into the 4-foot, or he's going to have this draw. And it's really just a question of whether you want Eric to draw or hit with his last stone. If you want Eric to hit, then Tyler just needs to throw this in-turn draw, cut off the draw to the 4-foot. If you want Eric to draw, then I think you just draw on the other side. Take away the hit. So Tyler's going to give Eric the hit and roll for his last, which is a difficult shot. So Tyler's just going to throw down this draw path. He doesn't even have to be in the house. He just needs to be along this path to cut off that in-turn draw, and that'll force Eric into a difficult hit and roll or draw on the other side. Last rock of the third end for Cornell's Tyler Muller. Don't want to be deep here. And this one's going to bounce. Hopefully it doesn't open things up too much. Didn't leave much of a hole. A little sigh of relief from Tyler that he didn't break the house wide open. And he actually put himself in a pretty good position. Cornell now sitting 3. And just a really difficult shot selection left for Eric Cowell. He can either come off his own, which is pretty tight getting around that stone. He's got a little draw tap to come off of Tyler's stone, or try to thread the needle and hit the back. Looks like they're going to throw a straight draw. Trying to catch an edge of the forefoot. Last stone, third end for RIT's Eric Howell. Looking to draw in to get his single. Drawing against 3 Cornell stones. Going to go for the hit and roll here. And that's a great save by Eric Howell with the hit and roll. Right into the pocket to get his single. Nice shot. So Eric Howell rescues his team from a bit of a disaster there in the third end. They grabbed their single, but they now trail 4-1 to Cornell. Cornell will have the last rock advantage with the red rocks and the fourth end. Take a trip around the sheets and try to update our scores. Harvard stole another point in the second end. MIT bounced back with a single in the third. Harvard 2 leads MIT to 3-1 after 3 ends of play. That's our third event semifinal. Syracuse got their single in the third end. They're all tied up 3-3 after 3. That's our other championship semifinal and our second event semifinal. Over on sheet 3, Penn has stolen the first 3 ends. They lead 3-0 over MIT 1. Yale 2 has broken open their game a little bit. They've stolen 3 in the third end against Colgate 2. They now lead 6-1 after 3 ends of play. And over on sheet 6, we're still tied at 2. Just completing third end of play. RIT got caught in the rings early this end. No guards in play, and now they're chasing Cornell around the rings, which suits Cornell fine. They've got a 3-point lead. And that miss by RIT now opens up the door to a cheap deuce for Cornell. They can now split the house at 1-2 with Hammer. Gonna draw over toward that blue rock that's just behind the rings. That's a potential jam rock or catcher. Gives you a little bit of an extra chance of keeping your stone around there on the wings if it's an attempt is made to take it out. So Brendan Polo being asked to split the house here early in the end. Certainly don't want to guard your stone on the middle of the rings. Just makes it easier for the non-Hammer team to freeze and squeeze down your scoring area. And that draw attempt just a little heavy. So now RIT will have a chance to remove a shot stone or freeze to it. They're going to attempt to freeze. A little bit of an aggressive call here, but they're down 3. If you have no guards in play to hide behind, then you know the way to keep your rocks from being removed is to sit on top of another piece of granite. Mac Neaton with the freeze attempt. I think this one's going to over curl, and it's a little on the heavy side. And once again, a chance to split the house here for Jacob Spiegel. Looks like better weight this time. They're working it pretty hard to try to get this on the rings. Just need to touch the rings to be in play. Didn't quite make it, so another chance to remove shot stone, but Cornell does have a corner guard they can use now. They can loop one around the corner guard and draw for 2 with their last. So still a deuce in play for them with rocks in play. Mac Neaton again with takeout attempts. And this one sails wide on the outturn side. So now a chance for Cornell to use their corner guard. Get one around the corner guard, RIT will not be able to remove it. Now RT is in. RIT's in a difficult position here. They need to remove the stone, probably. Prevent dropping a deuce. They've got really no good place to hide. They may be looking at the long roll behind the corner guard. At least get a force out of this end. With only one stone in play, Cornell could play for the blank if they're confident in hitting and rolling out with their last. Carry the hammer over into the next end with the hopes they can score at least 2 instead of just 1. Even a score of 1 here, though, would help Cornell, seeing that they're already in the lead. And this takeout attempt will sail wide. So now one more chance for Cornell to get around the corner. Last stone of the fourth end for Tyler Muller. Cornell looking to get around, I'll say his first stone rather, of the fourth end. Trying to get around his corner guard. Set up a deuce here. Even if he can split the house, he'll have a deuce in play. Nice weight out of Tyler. Probably too much ice to curl around the corner guard, but that'll do just fine. That's a very difficult double. And so RIT will be looking to just get rid of a stone, and they might just have to take their medicine and give up a deuce here. With Cornell having split the house fairly even in depth, sit 1 and 2. What RIT would like to do is roll toward the other stone, at least make the hit and stick for 2 more difficult. So if they can hit and roll into this region, then they will at least have a hope that maybe Tyler Muller will miss the hit and take out his own. And they'll get a cheap steal. But first you have to hit the stone. First part of any hit and roll is, of course, the hit. And this one's going to overcurl. Now a chance for Cornell to grab a 3. They can play the same shot they just threw to come to their own stone. Always comforting to be able to throw the same shot twice. You know the line, you know the weight, and if you've thrown a stone down that line, you can come to your own and score. You've even got a little bit of backing in case you're just a smidge heavy. You're going to take a different line here. Personally, I think I would throw the shot that I just threw. And there's just absolutely no guesswork about the line or the weight. But Tyler's been confident in his draw weight all weekend. Just a draw for 3. Needs to touch paint. Vice Skip should be behind those stones, calling line in case they need the backing. Not going to be able to see it from up there. And Tyler's all over the backer. With nice T-line weight. Didn't need the backer, and that's a nice easy draw for 3. So Cornell takes control in the fourth end with a commanding 7-1 lead. RIT 2. Eric Cowell's team will have the hammer in the fifth end with the Blue Stones. Hey, in the fourth end, it's time to thank our sponsors for the 2020 edition of the UCC College Bonspiel. We really appreciate our sponsors helping us make this event possible. With 24 teams here, that's a lot of bodies that need breakfast and lunch and dinner. And we want to thank our sponsors for this event, which include Duncan of Hamilton, New York, Hannaford's of Clinton, New York, Hannaford's of New Hartford, New York, Hamilton Whole Foods in Hamilton, New York, and Price Chopper of Hamilton, New York. Thanks to all of our sponsors for making this event possible. Let's take another quick turn around the sheets. No change on sheet 1. Harvard 2 leads MIT 2 3-1 after 3 ends of play. They're finishing up the fourth end now. Syracuse has bounced back from dropping 3 in the second, and they got a single and then stole another one in the fourth end. They now lead 4-3 after 4 ends of play. They're in the fifth. MIT got on the board against Penn in our second event semifinal. They now trail 3-1 after 4 ends of play. Yale 2 has a commanding 6-1 lead after 3 against Colgate 2. And over on sheet 6, RIT 1 has grabbed a 3-2 lead, stealing 1 in the third end. They now lead 3-2 in our other second event semifinal. Winner of our feature game, Cornell and RIT, will play the winner of Syracuse and Villanova. They've got a close one going with Syracuse leading 4-3.
Plenty of weight for a guard.
We've introduced our teams before in other games that we've streamed this weekend, but we'll introduce them again here. Cornell is skipped by Tyler Muller. He's a grad student in chemical engineering out of Sacramento, California. Been curling for 5 years. Jacob Spiegel is a junior in industrial and labor relations out of Newton, Mass. He's curled for 6 years. Brendan Polo is a first-year student in math. He's out of Yardley, Pennsylvania. He's been curling for 3 years, and Xing Ma is a graduate student in physics from Shenyang, China. first-year curler, and apparently doing very well here in our college Bonspiel. RIT2 is skipped by Eric Cowell. He's a senior in biomedical engineering out of Fulton. Curled for a year and a half. Mac Neaton, also a senior in computing and information technology, hails out of Potsdam, New York. Just been curling for 1 year. Doing a fine job in the house as vice skip. And let's see. Second, Jack Nafel, class of 2024. Computer science, looks like, from Bel Air, Maryland. Just curled for a half a season. And finally, Tyler Payano, Bermudez, class of 2021, in 3D digital design. That will definitely come in handy down the road. And hails out of Brooklyn. Played 4 games this year, and I think has done very well.
Yes, for weight.
So that introduces your teams. In our championships, one of our championship semifinals today.
Oh, good sweep, guys. Made up for those missed hits in the last set. Cool. That's good. Yeah, that sounds about right. 81. Very heavy. Solid. Why can't I do that on my LSDs? What the hell? Too much pressure on the LSDs. I like that because they can't hit the elbow there.
Oh, just over curled. Looked like it had a chance to remove the RIT shot stone. RIT sitting 2, so they got a little something cooking here. I think RIT would just like to cover this draw path, try to lock in at least 2 here. They have a chance to draw for 3. You just can't let Tyler Muller remove that shot stone. And that blue stone looks like it's in the way at least. Tyler will give another run at it if he can even freeze to it. I don't think you need to remove it from play. I think if Tyler could just put one right here, hold RIT to 1, it would be very happy.
Control down.
And again, just over curled. Good effort at the freeze, but it does at least guard the in-turn draw path for an easier 3. For RIT, they're going to have to play either a tight shot through the port here to get their 3, or they're going to have to go wide and maybe try to raise this stone in. Key shot for RIT. They can grab 3 here. They'll get themselves back into the game. Succeeded in getting a lot of rocks in play this end. That helps increase your scoring opportunities. And the line's not bad, just not enough weight out here. And that'll come up a little light. But it is a deuce for RIT. They now trail 7-3 after 5 ends of play. And the last rock advantage will return to Cornell, leading 7-3 in the 6th. This is a busy weekend for college curling. This is the last day of this current season to qualify for the USA Curling College National Championship to be held in Fargo, South Dakota. $294 merit points up for grabs this weekend at our event. Here are the current standings. merit points for colleges around the nation. You can see that RPI is well represented here, leads with 165 and change merit points. Other teams from the East that will likely qualify and are curling in our event this weekend include Harvard, RIT, Bowdoin, Yale, Hamilton College, Penn State, brand new club. They are represented by 2 teams here this weekend. None of them made the finals, unfortunately, but a great team nonetheless. MIT, Syracuse, Colgate, Penn. On the bubble is Villanova, but they'll have a good weekend here with one team in the championship semifinal. And they brought 2 teams here as well, so they'll earn quite a few points. So I think it looks very good for them to qualify as well. So that's, if I count up properly, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 teams from the Eastern region, the Grand National Curling Club. And I think that'll be a record. I think our highest was 10. SUNY Poly probably will not make it this year, neither will Cornell. But I think those teams have good futures. SUNY Poly, of course, winning the silver medal last year at the USA Curling National Championship. Most of that silver medalist SUNY Poly team graduated, so they're a little bit in a rebuilding phase, but I expect them to come back strong next year. Future game, Cornell leads RIT 2-7-3. Let's take a quick skip around the sheets to see how other semifinals are doing. Over on sheet 1, we've had a little bit of action. MIT 2 has bounced back. They took 2 and stole another. They now lead 5-3 after 5 ends of play. Syracuse has taken control of their game with another big steal of 3. They now lead 7-3 after 5 ends of play. In our second event semifinal, MIT finally cracked a big end. They grabbed a big 3 to take a 4-3 lead over Penn after 5 ends. Colgate 2 got a single. In the 4th, they now trail 6-2. And way over on sheet 6. Well, trying to see the score. Still showing as 3-2 after 3, but I know they've completed the 4th end there, and there we go. And it looks like RPI grabbed a deuce. They now lead 4-3 over on our sheet 6 second event semifinal. We're in the 6th end of our feature game. Cornell leading 7-3, playing the Red Rocks, and they do have the last rock advantage in this important 6th end. Almost always important to grab a score in the 6th end. Normally gives you the advantage of the last rock in the last end of play. And Cornell's got a healthy lead. They'll be very happy just to even score one this end. The most important thing is that Cornell scores this end. And Brendan Polo with a hit attempt and removes the enemy stone, rolls out of play, but that's just fine. Cornell with shot stone and a little hanger in the back. It looks like it's on the rings. Freeze attempt swings a bit wide and light. And now Cornell will split the house. So Jacob Spiegel with his first. Just looking to touch paint on the other side of the rings. And spread their shot stones out as far as possible so they can't be doubled out. And lost a handle. Didn't want to come up short there with a hammer. Better to throw that through. Now the guard gives a chance for RIT. They're going to elect to throw the freeze. You could also come around the guard that was just left by Jacob Spiegel. Like a pretty good stone if it doesn't overcurl. May have just overcurled enough to leave Cornell shot stone. Good attempt. Needed to stay on that for a line. Now Cornell going to come around the corner guard. Essentially splitting the house with the guard here. Try to sit 1 and 2. At least their previous RIT rock at least did serve the purpose of neutralizing the biter in the back of the rings. So Cornell is sitting only 1 now. And that draw attempt comes up short as well. Now a chance for RIT to draw around those 2 guards. I'd come middle out. This is definitely the turn you want to play. Easier to get around. seem to be fixated on the freeze, but they've got a couple of guards they can hide behind. Now Tyler Moeller looking to draw around those two guards. And Tyler came up a bit short on the come around. Maybe the ice is stiffening up a little bit. Does make the draw for RIT a little trickier, how they're going to get in. I think they could go in this way. Going to play that freeze. I think this draws here as well. A little tight by the corner. Need to come in this way. Should be able to get buried back button. T-line. Last shot 6 in for RIT and Eric Cowell. Looking to come through the hole here and grab shot stone. Not through yet. Just looks like it's going to click on the guard. It rolls in a shade, but second and third stone, but Cornell still shot stone. They have a chance to tap up and get their deuce. pretty risk-free. They just need to move that stone a couple feet to count. Needs to be almost fully into the 8-foot. And they just threw this shot down this line. Just looking to throw T-line weight. And maybe back 4 and just bumped up that stone in the middle. Last stone, 6th in from Cornell's Tyler Muller. Just looking to tap up shot stone. Or tap up a center guard for shot stone, and going to hit it just a little on the wide side. Not quite enough weight, so that's only a single for Syracuse, or excuse me, for Cornell. They lead 8-3 after 6 ends of play. RIT will have another chance with the hammer in the 7th, trailing by 5. Taking a glance around our other sheets, Syracuse has taken complete control over Villanova. They now lead 10-3 after 6 ends of play. Another big steal of 3 in the 6th ends. MIT leads Penn 4-3 in our second event semifinal. Yale 2 with the commanding 10-2 lead over Colgate 2 after 5 ends of play. That game getting a little out of control. Teams might want to consider saving themselves for the consolation game. Over on sheet 6, our other second event semifinal, RIT1 leads 5-4 over RPI1. Nice come around attempt by Brendan Polo. Goes a little deep. Now Jack Nafel. And now the Cornell shot rock. They're going to eliminate the guard. Without that guard, RIT will find it very difficult to generate a multiple score. Brendan Polo asked to peel the corner guard. And just set that a little on the wide side.
That's where you wanted it.
Tyler Muller with another come around to sit 1 and 2 for Cornell. RIT will now have to try to set up a skip deuce. Try to score with their last 2 stones. Eric Cowell trying to come around that Tyler Muller stone on the top 12. Needs to sit 1 here if he wants to try to score a deuce. Weight looks pretty good. That's a pretty good shot. It's mostly buried right at tee line. And I think that'll force Tyler to draw down to it. You could try chasing it off. Looks like they might be just trying a lightweight hit. You could draw to it and it would be very hard for RIT to get a deuce. Looking to play kind of a lightweight takeout and remove that stone from play. Got to watch the jam in the back. And they're just going to click their own red stone. Looked like that might have been a made shot if they'd swept early and held that out. Now a chance to draw for 2 for Eric Cowell. Bring himself back within 3 with 1 to play. On sheet 2 in our other A semifinal game, Syracuse ran Villanova 1 out of rocks. They win 10-4. Congratulations to Syracuse. They are in the gold medal game for this 2020 UCC College Bonspiel. Villanova will be in the bronze medal game. They'll face the loser of Cornell and RIT. Winner of our feature game today will move on to the gold medal game as well. Over on sheet 1 in our third event semifinal, Harvard 2 has grabbed 3. They now lead 6-5 over MIT 2. We're all tied up at 4 in our second event semifinal. On sheet 3, MIT 1 and Penn. They're all tied up at 4. Yale 2 defeated Colgate 2, 10-2. That's a final. That's our other third event semifinal. And in our second event semifinal, RIT 1 leads RPI 1 6-4 after 6. Our feature games in the 8th end. RIT 2 trails 8-5. They're down 3. And with no rocks in the rings, Cornell is just throwing through. They have the last rock and the lead. RIT will need some guards. They need to steal 3 just to get to an extra.
Steven can go. 10 feet. Yeah, it's going to curl a lot. So she might go out right side. Yeah, stay on it, Steven. Good job. Yep. Oh, that was the wrong one. Yeah, let's make it tough to get it.
With nothing in play, Cornell is happy throwing through. They don't need to score. They just need to run RIT out of rocks. RIT is going to need some guards, and they need to score 3.
Guard away. Yes.
Brendan Polo with the takeout attempts. Safely made, does leave a guard. That's something that RIT can use. In our second event semifinal on sheet 3, Penn has stolen another. They now lead 5-4 over MIT. Last end to play. MIT will have the hammer coming home. And Cornell looking to peel these stones that can be used by RIT. Don't care if they lose their own, they like to lose everything. And nicely done, single peel. They caught just a little more of the struck stone, they would have gotten everything. But a good result.
It's not going to slow.
RIT running out of bullets now. They have to score the rest of their stones, and this one's going to come up short, and that should end the game. And Cornell doesn't need to throw. The last thing you want to do is accidentally run this stone into the rings for a shot stone. Not sure RIT can split this on. Keep the shooter.
Weights up.
And that stone comes up short as well. Don't see a possibility for RIT to win the game. They should concede. They have to score all of their stones. 2 of them are not in the house in order just to get to an extra end. And Cornell doesn't even have to throw to win the game. Not sure why you would even hit the blue stone and give RIT a chance to put that one in the rings. If they remove it from play, RIT will be mathematically eliminated. And they did not end the game. Don't understand that call at all. Just put a blue stone in the rings for RIT. Still don't think they can win. And that will end the game. So Cornell, congratulations to them. They advance to the championship final game. Make it an 8-5 final. Give you a quick catch-up of our other games. Harvard 2 leads MIT 2-7-5 after 7 innings of play. RIT 1 leads RPI 1 8-4 after 7 ends. Looks like they're in control of their second event semifinal. We'll bring you all the action of the finals. And our feature game, of course, will be Syracuse versus Cornell in our championship final of this 2020 College Bonspiel. Join us at 11:30 for that game. To check out all the results of the other games, please go to uticacurlingclub.org and you'll find the latest results posted there. I'm Roger Ouellette, glad to bring you this game this morning, and we'll see you again in a little while with the championship final. Thanks for tuning in to the Utica Curling Club channel here on YouTube.